We're here and we are doing the co-main event for Amanda Ribas versus Mackenzie Dern 2 fight card. Let's get right into it. But before we do, we're streaming this Saturday the live watch party for this fight card. Check in and let's get right into this video. We have Carlston Harris fighting Santiago Ponzinibbio. Ponzinibbio is 30-8. His country's Argentina. He stands at 6 foot tall. He weighed at 183 pounds 60 in his last win. Has a reach of 73 inches and a leg reach of 40.5 inches. While Carlston Harris, on the other hand, is 19-6. His country is Guyana. He stands at 6 foot tall as well. He weighed at 180 pounds 80 in his last win. Has a reach of 76 inches and a leg reach of 42 inches. Okay, we have a few things to unpack in this one. We have a 1.5 inch leg reach for Carlston Harris, a 3 inch reach advantage for Carlston Harris. They're going to weigh the same in the welterweight bout limit. Carlston Harris and Santiago Ponzinibbio, their height is the exact same and the record goes into Santiago's favor. But it's not a massive difference where Carlston Harris is just starting. They've both been in the game for a little while. They both have losses. They both have wins. This fight is a lot closer than what it is letting on from these stats. This could be a very good fight. Coming into this one, Carlston Harris should use his reach, keep it at bay. Unless if he has wins by grappling, then he should probably get it in close. It also depends on how Santiago's fights have come by as well. But Carlston Harris also has the leg reach. A lot of the stats are going into Carlston's favor, but the wins obviously go into Santiago's favor, and the height is both of their favor, and the weight is going to be roughly the same. So let us move on to the win buys to see how they've got it done in their previous fights. Carlston Harris has a 26% KO/TKO, 32% submission, so he's a fairly well-rounded fighter. He has a 42% decision, so most of his wins are coming by decision. He has an average fight time sitting around 6 minutes and a knockdown average of 0, while Santiago Ponzinibbio, on the other hand, has a 53% KO/TKO. Most of his wins are coming by knockout, 20% submission, 27% decision, with an average fight time sitting around 11 minutes and a knockdown average of 1. Based off of these stats, Carlston Harris, most of his wins are coming by decision. His second most wins are coming by submission. So he should try and keep this off the feet, because if you look at Santiago's stats, 53% of his wins are coming by knockout. He is dangerous on the feet compared to Carlston Harris, who does have KOs and TKOs himself, but doesn't have as many as Santiago's. Plus, Santiago has a 30-win record. Over half of his wins are coming by knockout, which makes him one deadly motherfucker in this fight. I think this could be a very tough fight for Carlston, just based off of this stats. And I think the way Carlston can win is by getting it down, going for a submission. Now, Ponzinibbio isn't going to be an easy fight on the ground either, because he has submission wins as well, so he has experience in all ranges. But I think Carlston Harris's best bet is to get it down, either get control time or get a submission. But let us move on to significant strikes to see how they performed on the feet in their previous fights. And if it does stay on the feet, who could benefit? I mean, we know who it'll probably benefit if it stays on the feet, Santiago, but let's see. Santiago Ponzinibbio had an average of 5 punches landed per minute, a 41% significant strikes percentage, an average of 5 punches absorbed per minute with a defense of 61%, while Carlston Harris, on the other hand, had an average of 3 punches landed per minute, not as many, 49% significant strikes, a little bit better. He absorbed an average of 3 punches with a defense of 52%. So for this one, you mainly want to look at who landed more, what their significant strike percentage was, not really how much they absorbed, and their defense. I mean, you want to look at all the stats. Carlston Harris didn't land that many, so he has a fairly okay output. His significant strikes percentage is a little bit higher than Ponzinibbio, which is good. It shows that he has a little bit more power with less punches. He absorbed less, but his defense was worse, which could be an issue, because if Ponzinibbio uses his 61% defense, now it's not going to be 61%, it could be higher, it could be lower. It depends on how Carlston Harris telegraphs his punches and how Ponzinibbio telegraphs his punches. You know, if one of them can see the punch coming or has very quick reflexes and quick defense, you're going to defend it quite easily. Or if you know what to expect, you can defend it. Ponzinibbio has quick reflexes. He has a good eye for these punches. He can tell what's coming for kick. But Carlston Harris either doesn't have quick reflexes or just doesn't see shots coming. Carlston Harris and Ponzinibbio has a higher output, so if it does stay on the feet and it does go to points, Ponzinibbio could win on points because of his output. If he outputs 20 punches per round while Carlston Harris is outputting 6, Ponzinibbio's winning, unless if Carlston Harris gets the takedowns and takes control. The good thing that I'm seeing here about Harris, though, is he has the significant strike percentage higher than Ponzinibbio with a lower output. which means he could have a lot of power come in with shorter strikes. He could throw 5 punches average throughout the whole fight. Say if he landed an average of 5 punches, most of them could be significant strikes, which could put Ponzinibbio out. Ponzinibbio has to output and land quite a bit to get the significant strikes. He doesn't try and, well, obviously everyone tries, but he doesn't get as much power off as Carlston Harris does in his higher amount of punches. But let's move on to the grappling to see if it does go down, who could perform better and who could get it done, and how they performed in their previous fight. With Carlston Harris having an average of 2 takedowns, 29% takedown accuracy, 55% takedown defense, with a submission average of 1, while Santiago Ponzinibbio, on the other hand, had an average of 1 takedown, 32% takedown accuracy, 66% takedown defense, with a submission average of 0. Let us start with the submission average. Carlston Harris attempted some submissions, which is good. Santiago Ponzinibbio did go down, but didn't attempt any. The next thing we should look at is takedown defense. Before we look at anything else, takedown defense is next. Santiago Ponzinibbio has good takedown defense. Carlston Harris, he just barely got over half of the takedowns defended, which isn't great, but it also depends on how many his opponents tried to get. If his opponent tried to get, say, about 3 or 4, it's fair enough. You probably want a high defense, but Ponzinibbio could probably defend most of Carlston Harris's takedowns. But Carlston Harris, this is where the next thing comes in. Looking at takedown average, Carlston Harris attempted quite a few. His average is 2, which means he attempted more than 2. Ponzinibbio, on the other hand, got under 1, which means he attempted still a few, but not as many as Carlston Harris, and didn't get as many as Carlston Harris, at least. He could have attempted the same, but he didn't get as many. And which leads us on to the next thing, which is the takedown accuracy. They both had very, very poor takedown accuracy, which kind of leads me into the fact of these two might not get a takedown in this fight. If one of them gets hurt, the other one will find it a lot easier to take the other one down. But I think if one of them gets hurt, the other one isn't going to try and take him down. They're going to try and keep it on the feet and try and bully them and hurt them as much as they can. Which leads me into this part. How do I think this fight plays out? I'm going to say it stays on the feet quite a bit. This is a very interesting fight, skillfully and stats-wise, very good. I think Ponzinibbio might come out on top, though. I think he just has a little bit more to offer on the table than Carlston Harris, but I won't be surprised if Carlston Harris does get it done. But if Carlston Harris does get it done, it will either be by a submission or by a decision, while I think Ponzinibbio, decision possibly, most likely knockout. But that's just my thoughts and my opinions. What do you guys think? Who do you think wins that? How do you think win? Apart from that, I'll catch you in a bit. Take care, and I'll see you for the main event and the live stream this Saturday, and predictions as well tomorrow. But take care and peace.